And here in Columbia, South Carolina, Presbyterian got its first win in the tournament on Wednesday. They now will face the #1 undefeated team in the nation, the South Carolina Gamecocks, who are the #1 overall seed for the 3rd year in a row. And they've got depth upon depth to try to make a run at South Carolina. Dominated that one 99-29. We'll see how the #1 team fares. Their tournament run starts right now.
The Presbyterian will play a matchup zone, forcing the outside shot, but South Carolina has proved they're comfortable with that this year.
Sanaya Fagan has all the confidence in the world to just let that one fly. This Presbyterian offense, we saw a lot of motion, moving around, really great communicators.
A lot of screening and setting each other up, but it's going to be tough against the pressure of South Carolina.
Tahina Paopao misses the 3, rebound by Tessa Johnson. Now Ashlyn Watkins taking it in. Paige Kinseth with the rebound. Tilda Crockfist is their point guard, #4 in that blue jersey.
Marinera had a terrific first game against Sacred Heart. She was looking for scoring opportunities in that first half.
Yeah, led them with 14 points. Turnover into the hands of Raven Johnson. Watkins gave up the shot for Tessa Johnson, overshoots.
South Carolina hasn't played since the SEC tournament. They may have to shake off a little rust.
Paige Kinseth cutting to the basket for Presbyterian's first points. Presbyterian not far away, just about an hour drive in Clinton, South Carolina, in between here in Columbia and Greenville.
I think all of Clinton came for the game on Wednesday.
Yes, they were.
They were here. Strong.
Baseline for Sanaya Fagan. She has all of South Carolina's points.
Pressure of South Carolina defensively.
Tessa Johnson did a good job on Marinera. It's going to be a second chance, though, for the Blue Hose. And that's a foul on Tahina Paopao. Dawn Staley, the SEC Coach of the Year. She won the regular season title, the conference title. They're the 4th team to enter the tournament in back-to-back years undefeated, but you've heard some of her players call this a revenge tour, a revenge season, because they lost in the Final Four last year to Iowa.
That started with Raven Johnson.
Yes.
Because you remember, Iowa played off of her. Caitlin Clark kind of waved off Raven Johnson of saying, I'm going to give her that perimeter shot. So now this team has really focused on nobody's going to disrespect you that way again. If that shot's open from the perimeter, they're ready to pull the trigger.
Even with losing all 5 starters to the WNBA draft. 5, all 5 of them. There's not a lot of question marks in this South Carolina team as a whole. They have figured it out. Johnson back to Paopao. There it is!
Having Paopao and Raven Johnson, 2 point guards in your starting lineup. Either one can run the team and the other can be a scoring threat.
Crockfist rattles out. Raven Johnson, the turnaround.
At the SEC tournament, Dawn Staley, we talked to her about how do you avoid getting off to a slow start. She said a part of that is Raven Johnson. Needed her to be aggressive offensively, and she has started that way today.
Last couple of games, 10 points, 6 rebounds a game for Raven.
Dawn really likes the instinct that Raven Johnson plays with.
possession. Watkins fighting for it. Nira on the floor, gets it for Presbyterian.
Proctus is a major piece of the offense for Presbyterian. She's going to have to find her offense against a tough defender like Raven Johnson.
Air ball from Nira. Pow looking for the other side.
So Pow grinned a little bit after missing that one. She'll get it back.
Paige gets it with a pretty bucket. She has all of Presbyterian's points.
At practice yesterday, Presbyterian has all the respect in the world for South Carolina, but no fear. They were ready to come in here and compete.
Watkins taking it in on Kinsa. There's Brianna Brady for three. It's short. Pow. Fagan. Johnson to Pow to Fagan.
South Carolina is off and running.
Shortened it to Hose. And now it means Fierce Scottish Warriors.
And watching Alora Sharp prepare this team, you can understand why they were able to win their conference tournament, even getting past their first game on Wednesday. The preparation, everybody knew the detail of how they were going to guard what offenses they were going to run when, and they were able to execute that when it came game time.
Nuria O'Neal with the bucket for Presbyterian in the paint. Ball movement over to Chloe Kitts.
The ball movement against the zone is much improvement for South Carolina as well. It's not just the ability to shoot the ball outside, but finding the seams against the defense.
If you're just joining us, again, South Carolina without Camila Cardoso and Bree Hall is being held out of this game for precautionary reasons only. Tessa Johnson too far under the basket. Kitts gets it back. And she's fouled and will go to the free throw line. So we step aside. South Carolina coming out and hitting 54% from the field.
You cannot compare yourself to anybody else. The standard is the South Carolina standard, and that's the one thing Don Staley has said. Enter this tournament, into the NCAA tournament, it is how they can continue to improve to get better as a team.
Chloe Kitts at the free throw line.
It's pretty incredible what Chloe Kitts has done. When we saw her come in as an early enrollee last season to work her way into a starting role this season, she's a physical player. She's gotten stronger, able and ready to contribute.
And there you see her going up for the basket. Yes, she has been a starter, earned that starting spot at the very beginning of the season. Mylasia Fulwiley with the pass.
This is where Kitts' biggest contribution on the glass.
Deep three for Fulwiley. Gamecock Nation loves that. The SEC Tournament MVP.
Proctus got away with a little push-off on Fulwiley.
Raven Johnson almost had a steal. Seven seconds for Presbyterian. Up and in for O'Neal. She has 4. Kids just using her size to reach over the top and snag that rebound.
When it lands in your hands, things go your way, you just got to take it.
For Wiley stepping into another 3. You think she's ready for her first NCAA tournament?
She was born ready.
Columbia, South Carolina's finest stayed at home to play for the Gamecocks. Just gets better and better.
Like the SEC tournament was a good preparation for Full Wiley. She didn't just enter the tournament, she left there the MVP.
The first freshman to win MVP of the SEC tournament since Candace Parker. Uh-oh. Well, heat check.
Malaysia Full Wiley. Headline, one of the best national freshmen in the country from deep from 3. Automatic when she comes in off the bench, she just is ready to contribute, make something happen.
And Dawn Staley has talked about that Malaysia came into the program her true freshman year. She knew what her standard is, and she knew when she didn't hit that standard. That is something that takes players maybe 1 or 2 seasons at least to figure out. Malaysia came in with that knowledge right away.
What Dawn tell us? She's a sponge. She's coachable. She wants to be coached, and when Dawn is coaching her, she is trying to learn everything she can, and then she applies it to the floor.
Raven Johnson with the athletic steal. South Carolina ball again under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Winner gets North Carolina on Sunday. Watkins short. And she's fouled, going back up on the second opportunity.
What a luxury Dawn Staley has with Full Wiley, now Raven Johnson and Tahina Paopao on the floor, 3-point guards on the floor at the same time, and being coached by one of the all-time greatest point guards to have ever played the game in Dawn Staley.
I think there's some pressure at the point guard position in South Carolina. Having to learn, I think as a player,
well, I think that as a player, you probably feel some pressure because you know when she tells you anything, she's right because she's been there, done that. So then you try to perform to live up to what her expectations are. That's where the pressure is. I asked Malaysia Full Wiley because, Dawn used to wear the rubber band on her wrist, and every time she turned the ball over, she would pop herself. She said, have you thought about incorporating that? And she goes, well, I've thought about it, but my turnovers are pretty good. I was like, okay.
All right. The bank won't go. Brianna Brady gets it blocked by Ashlyn Watkins. And Shakima Walker underneath. Free throws coming.
I thought Full Wiley was going to keep that and make a highlight reel, but she has exercised a lot of discipline in her game. When she comes down, she can put on a show, but she has learned it's not about that. She will make big things happen when they need to, but sharing the ball, that shows maturity to me in the second half of her freshman season.
Walker misses the first. Gets the second. Tries to throw up a bucket, but at the end of 10 minutes, South Carolina up by 17. With her niece, baby Tahina, who is named after Tahina Paopao.
The family connection is huge. Her brother Israel, when Tahina first went to Oregon, moved to Oregon with her when she made the decision to come here to South Carolina. He moved here as well. It's a really tight family.
And she's brought that tight family atmosphere to South Carolina. Dawn Staley has talked about it immediately. As soon as she put on that South Carolina uniform, stepped into the gym, she brought the family atmosphere and the family mentality to the Gamecocks.
Tahina's spirit, when you're around her, you just feel the positive energy, the caring that she exudes. And instantly when she joined the South Carolina team, she felt a sisterhood.
She did tell us, I was so excited to see my dad, but I was even more excited to see baby Tahina.
Yeah, her sister named her daughter after, can we say Tahina Senior? Or is it Tahina the first?
The first. I like that one. Cowbell in the corner. There she goes. Do it for the fam. And the fist pump from Dad.
Yeah, Dad was trying to stay calm. You know he's nervous for his baby girl.
It was a low fist pump.
Well, when she went into the transfer portal and they got a call from Dawn Staley, it was her dad that was like, hang on a second.
First of all, answer the call.
Absolutely.
She thought she was going to go to TCU and be a Horned Frog. Instead, she got a call from Dawn Staley, and the rest is history. Malaysia Wiley. That is her third made three-pointer. She has not gotten cold from the SEC tournament.
Look, she didn't wear a jacket when she left Greenville.
No.
Yeah. Keep it warm.
Coming to the basket, Danae Hines.
Yeah, Presbyterian has played South Carolina before, and Laura Sharp told us that she said that they were a better team now than they were then.
Cole Wiley. My goodness. Straight filth.
South Carolina's a better team now also.
That ties her career high with 4 made threes. We are in the second quarter.
Hang on. Keep your pen ready. But Wiley looks a little tired. She's over in that corner.
Has the Johnson off the mark. Rebound by Brianna Brady. Look at the threes go.
South Carolina has already made 6 threes on the day. Malaysia Wiley, the freshman, knocking it down. Tahina Paopao has gotten in on the party. And Pops is in town. And he's loving it.
Tahina Paopao, 6 points, a couple of threes for her. South Carolina has hit their season average per game in threes with those 6 made three-pointers. Ashland Watkins. And you think, too, look, South Carolina, a better three-point shooting team. Does that impact their paint point production? No, they're actually scoring more points in the paint than they did last year. 53% of their points come from inside.
The points in the paint come easier because you have the three-point threat. The defense has got to respect you from beyond the arc, and it's really hard to recover to get back to the size and the post play that South Carolina has.
Really nice drop-off to Brianna Brady cutting to the basket. South Carolina leading the nation in fast break points and paint points per game. And that's a travel on Paopao. Kicks back in. Coach Kinseth returns for Presbyterian. Kinseth pulling up at the free throw line.
Like, Presbyterian is not a team you just roll out the ball and say, well, you're going to play and you're going to win. You have to prepare for it because of all of the different schemes that they execute offensively.
Watkins off the back of the iron.
Look at Kinseth go! That's what I'm telling you. You get so hung up in having to be focused on the screening action of who's where, and then all of a sudden, Presbyterian makes a great read of finding the open cut.
Paopao stopped underneath. And this will be Presbyterian basketball. For Presbyterian. Swatted away by Watkins. South Carolina, third in the nation in three-point percentage, and they're already 6 of 13 here today. Carolina has already hit their season average with 6 threes per game. This Presbyterian team, we're seeing some good offensive execution.
Well, Rebecca Lobo talked about outscoring South Carolina in the paint because they make terrific reads in their offense, and they are being very opportunistic when they are able to avoid, get away from the defense, and they are outscoring South Carolina 14-8 in the paint.
Brianna Brady running out of time, bounces around in it. It's an 8-0 run by Presbyterian. Kitts with the mid-range. Ends a 2-minute scoring drought. She has 8.
All movement. We're seeing a clinic by both teams with execution. We heard Laura Sharp talking about screen and settle. Right? You screen and then you read the situation.
Maranira off the mark. Flip the side over to Paopao, driving floater. 8 points for Tahina.
One of the biggest differences that I see from last year's team to this year's team, the offense doesn't seem forced. It doesn't seem like you've got to tell somebody, let the ball move. They play so well together.
And they're all great scorers.
Absolutely.
Maybe not from there tonight.
Well, they work on it.
It's true, Camila Cardoso had the biggest shot in basketball in the semifinals of the SEC tournament. Top of the key 3 to win.
That was my shock of the season.
That was incredible. Everyone just slips out of Fagan's hands. You always wonder, after a long break, how is a team going to come out? They're favored going into this game. They're the #1 overall seed, but South Carolina's looked pretty good, shooting 52% from the field.
Well, as many players as South Carolina lost to the draft, you still had players that were in that locker room. You have players that were on that bench that understand the experience and the level of focus and concentration discipline you have to have as you approach the NCAA tournament.
Kinseth in and out. Watkins takes it to the free throw line, puts it down. 9 points for Ashlyn Watkins.
Don Staley calls it her superpower, says last season Ashlyn Watkins knew she could rebound and defend. Now her offensive side of her game has come along, and she's looking for those scoring opportunities.
Yeah, and you asked Don Staley, who is that Aaliyah Boston voice on this year's team?
I was shocked when Don said, I would have to say that's Ashlyn Watkins.
Yeah.
The focus and determination, wanting to win and go after that championship.
Transition bucket for Chloe Gibbs. In the corner, short. Raven Johnson trying to fire it inside to Fagan. They will get it back. Under a minute to go in the half. 8-0 run for the Gamecocks. They have hit 4 of their last 5. Watkins loses it.
South Carolina going with the big lineup. Ashlyn Watkins with the challenge of defending away from the paint. Very comfortable in that situation.
Raven Johnson with the steal. Taking on Crockfist one-on-one. High up off the window.
Raven Johnson's got some of the quickest hands in defensively. I think she may have gotten away with a little kick there, but then the strength to finish through contact gets the and one and a trip to the free throw line.
She is the one that's called this the revenge tour after last season's loss in the Final Four. It starts right now. Presbyterian can take the last shot of the half. Presbyterian at the buzzer with the bucket. South Carolina up big. They're 103-3 in the last 3 seasons, and they take a big lead into the break.
It's just the dominance in the rotation, and Don Staley has rotated her players in, and there has been no let up. But you also looked at Presbyterian only scored 29 points the first time these two teams met. They have 25 in the first half.
South Carolina again playing without Camila Cardoso, and then Bree Hall, we learned before tip-off, is being held out of this game for precautionary reasons only. Has not fazed the Gamecocks. Sanaya Fagan good on the second chance.
The depth for South Carolina. You have Sanaya Fagan that's in the starting lineup today. But all of these players have that experience. So if in the tournament foul trouble were to become an issue for any of the starters, the experience is there for the players that are coming in off the bench.
I love you asked Dawn yesterday at practice, you know, what's it like having this many to navigate in the tournament? She looked at you with this funny look on her face. She's like, it's a luxury. I love having this bench.
But let's go back when the freshies came in and we asked her the question, and she said, you know, it is a challenge to rotate who's playing when. Her assistant coaches help the players handle their minutes. Dawn had conversations with the parents for the parents to help handle minutes. Now she says it's a luxury because everybody knows they're going to play. Everybody knows, you know, the standard of which they've got to play in order to get on the floor.
Well, the freshies, of course, being that class when Aaliyah Boston and company came into South Carolina. They all graduated after last season.
and 5, they got drafted all in the same year in the WNBA draft.
Pretty good starting 5. And Presbyterian out of time. Here's Fagan. They'll swing it around to Tahina. Pow, pow.
Bang, bang.
Seven made threes now.
Playing against Presbyterian zone, like, it's good to experience things you haven't seen before, because I've not seen a zone like Presbyterian, because later in the tournament, if South Carolina faces this will be a good experience for them to have.
Ashley Watkins got tripped up, and Tilda Krokvis back the other way.
I think Watkins got ahead of herself because she wants to get another dunk. She already had one earlier this season.
Yeah, it came against Kentucky. She has 2 dunks in her career. She's the only South Carolina Gamecock to ever dunk.
Watching them in practice, and Watkins, she didn't have to get a running start. We saw her in practice, she'll just jump up and grab the rim. That's how athletic this woman is.
I've never even thought that I could be close to doing that.
You just walk around like you're already up there, Courtney.
Yeah, I forget I'm not 6'4" like you. And then we stand up.
But as long as we sit down, we're the same height.
Yeah, it's fine. Nobody will know. That's going to be the first foul against Brianna Brady. You know, talking about size inside, Brianna Brady has been a key part for Presbyterian this year. She's a 6th-year player, had to petition to get that 6th year. Actually didn't start basketball until her senior year of high school. She was a softball player.
She's got terrific basketball instincts. But listen, she petitioned for that 6th year to win a championship. You don't have graduate studies at Presbyterian, so she's getting another undergrad or working toward another undergrad. But she wanted to win a championship, and she helped her team move on to the Big South Championship.
And then get a win in the NCAA tournament.
Hey, making history for Presbyterian.
It's a big night on Wednesday here at Columbia. Fagan to the free throw line as she's fouled by Danae Hines. That's her 3rd. Points for Sanaya Fagan. She averaged 5 points in the SEC tournament a couple of weeks ago. Getting the start today. Well, the NCAA Women's Championship continues today with the first round games and continues all the way through April 7th when we crown a champion. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. And don't forget, coming up after this game, we get to see LSU, the defending national champions, and Angel Reese play Rice.
And Angel Reese has a partner in crime in the paint with Anissa Morrow. Both of those 2 women are double-doubles waiting to happen, and they can do so in the same game, which makes LSU a handful to deal with.
Both of the times that South Carolina and LSU have gotten together this season, they have been some fun basketball to watch.
Oh, yeah. Earlier in the regular season when game day was in Baton Rouge for that matchup, I mean, a lot of people think if Angel Reese hadn't fouled out with 4 minutes left to go, what would the outcome have been? Would it have been different?
But then South Carolina got round 2 as well in the SEC tournament championship game against LSU. 79-72. The 8th SEC tournament title for the Gamecocks. There's Brianna Brady. Gets the first. Second foul was whistled against Sanaya Fagan of South Carolina. take this.
That young lady has just played herself into tremendous shape. You know, she missed her freshman year, tore her ACL last year, really getting her feet under, but she is in peak form now.
And when she got to South Carolina, she was the #1 point guard in her recruiting class. And then, as you said, had to sit out with the injury. Paige Kenseth with the turnaround.
What Raven can do with the basketball and handling it, and she can score it when she needs to. She can shoot the mid-range. She can get in the paint. She can knock down the three. And more times than not, she's playing with that smile on her face. She always comes over and waves any games that we're doing.
Yep. How much, too, has it helped Raven adding Tahina Paopao this year?
Oh, I think it's huge because they have contrasting styles. It's almost like Raven Johnson is the fire and Paopao's the ice. And it's a balance. It's a balance. A little spark, and then Paopao is very cool, calm, and collected. You see how she told Raven Johnson, slow down right there.
You feel a little cold if you're a defense and she just crushes a three over you, too.
Well, you know.
Or takes it in for a layup. .13 points for Paopao.
And Tahina Paopao has already announced she's coming back next year. So not only will Raven Johnson benefit from that, but Malaysia Fulwiley as well. I think that's great to have her have another year under Paopao.
Mara Nira, she was their leading scorer on Wednesday with 14. We asked Tahina yesterday, when did you know you wanted to come back? And she said, well, it just made sense. I feel like I've gotten so much better in one season playing for Dawn Staley. Imagine what two would look like.
Oh, wow.
Everyone else in the country is going, oh, no.
Right? Yeah, because really everybody for South Carolina could come back next year.
Even Camila Cardoso, she has the option. And Raven Johnson fouled by Tilda Crockfist. And I think it's impressive, too, is you see the success South Carolina has had. And yet, there's still all these players, all the talent that still wants to come. A lot of them stay and wait to be developed. They have bought into what Dawn Staley is asking them to do, as opposed to hitting the transfer portal.
You develop success or maintain a successful program when you bring in the people that are not afraid to compete and want to play with people who are like-minded, that have a standard. They don't want something given to them, not coming in with a sense of entitlement.
Tilda Crockfist over the defense. And she said, too, specifically to this group, Dawn has talked about how they hold each other accountable, and that's so important. They know what the standard is. They're not afraid to vocalize that to their teammates when they're not living up to that standard.
Going back to what you said, Ashlyn Watkins being like that Aaliyah Boston voice in the locker room, that's a sophomore that is not afraid to hold her teammates accountable.
All right, Mara Nira. Another three-pointer for her. Transfer from Eastern Wyoming. Here's Watkins. Johnson in the corner. Wiley. And Paige Kenseth is down underneath the basket right now for Presbyterian. After that bucket, they will pause here. Paige Kenseth out of Minnesota.
the injuries. She started the last 8 games of the regular season.
She's got 9 points today, had 6 points Wednesday in their win. Let's take you back to that last play where Paige Kinseth was shaken up. You see that right ankle give way. So Jonna Walker, the trainer for Presbyterian, along with Craig Oates and his training staff from South Carolina over there, offering to help out. And good to see Paige Kinseth standing up. Just getting to watch her in practice the last couple of days. So vocal, so smart. They all know the scouting report, especially Paige.
Well, and leading, whenever Coach Sharp says something, all the players repeat it.
Yes.
So that is letting all of their teammates know that you're on the same page. That communication, and that has been so key, and Paige has led a lot of that.
As she is walking back towards the Presbyterian locker room, we'll keep an eye on her. It's been a part of this historic run for Presbyterian. Good ball movement. Klein found Crockvis.
I'm telling you, Presbyterian runs some good stuff. I love their offensive execution, how they read each other off their motion offense. They're getting great opportunities to score the ball.
Johnson by herself. She has 9. Well, that offensive execution, that was so key on Wednesday against Sacred Heart. As you said, Laura Sharp, their head coach, they had a plan. They knew exactly how to execute it. All these players were ready to go, and it kind of threw Sacred Heart off guard, especially in the first half.
Well, the scoring opportunities that they get, they don't happen by accident. These players are taught how to read the screens, and Laura Sharp, oh, there's Phil Wally from 3 again.
New career high, 5 made threes for Malaysia.
But Coach Sharp, every second she's in the gym, she's teaching, and these players are absorbing all the information.
O'Neal swatted away by Fagan. They'll go inside the Kits, and she's pushed from behind by Brianna Brady.
Presbyterian's offense and the way the ball moves, the slip, back door, then Klein finds Crockvis on the cut. They look for each other. They know how to get into those available areas to create scoring opportunities. And I think Coach Sharp does a terrific job of helping her players know the game. Not just run plays, but know how to play the game.
She's told us she's been waiting 18 seasons for this moment, making the NCAA tournament. As a player, she didn't make the NCAA tournament, so for her to lead this program, get them here for the very first time, meant something so special.
Laura Sharp is dedicated to her craft. She has hired a consultant to help her evaluate when she coaches games, decisions she makes, how she can do things better. She's constantly looking to improve so that she can help expand the game. And she takes great pride in it. Coaches like that, they tip their hat off with always not thinking she knows everything, but always learning something new.
Your players see that too. Goes flying into the stands. Towards the Carolina band. I think everybody's okay though.
Got to stay ready, band, when you're sitting that close. There used to be an up in the stands, so when you're baseline, you got to have your hands ready.
Do you protect your instrument first? What is the protocol there?
Yes. The music comes first, your body second.
Johnson poking holes in the defense. She's got 11. 5 players now in double figures for Carolina.
South Carolina can't clock watch. They can't follow the score. You got to be disciplined now. Take care of the ball and still make good decisions to end this quarter and the half.
Raven Johnson got the ball immediately, looked up at the clock, decided to slow things down, take that last shot. Gamecocks on an 8-0 run. Bagan. 10 minutes to go until the second round. South Carolina up 74-37. Winner against North Carolina. Then coming up in our next game in Van Lith and Reese.
And they're on the same team. Woo. Then you add to that Anissa Morrow. You also have Flau'jae Johnson. That was a big part of that national championship.
So Kim Mulkey and company coming up next at the top of the hour.
I wonder what Kim's going to wear.
That is a question every game. You never know.
You don't know.
You know it's going to be good, though, for tournament time.
It will be.
Well, there's going to be an offensive foul on Danae Hines. Her fourth. Now for today's Star Stories, brought to you by Honda. Going to a trio of guards who are tearing it up for South Carolina. Mylasia Fulwiley leading the way with 17 points and a career-high 5 made threes.
Welcome to the NCAA tournament, young freshman.
She's acting like she's been here.
The way she carries herself, she's almost like an old soul. She may have been here before.
Board.
Kahina Paopao going to pull the basketball back out, start over.
Got herself in the corner. Then to the baseline. Paopao to 15.
Question mark I had about South Carolina too was with the bigs and ball screens, and that was an area South Carolina corrected. A lot of times Camilla Cardoso would stay inside, the guards could go behind the screen. Well, now all the guards are very comfortable with all the posts are comfortable defending on the perimeter.
We just saw Paige Kinson taking that shot. It's great to see her back in the game for Presbyterian. She was helped off the court a few moments ago.
You get an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. You're
coming back.
You coming back at all possible.
South Carolina has hit 9 3-pointers. Their season high is 12 threes against Maryland. Breakfast trying to go reverse.
Gets everybody settled.
These kicks. Sakima Walker, no. But then Sanaya Fagan there.
That was a pass.
Okay. Sakima will not argue with you. For three, rattles out.
And good execution, just not able to finish the shot.
Kitts has not missed. She is 7 for 7.
She looks very comfortable in the NCAA tournament as well.
What a difference a year makes. Chloe Kitts, who enrolled early last year, then went to work in the offseason and got herself against North Carolina on Sunday.
And when those two teams, when South Carolina and North Carolina met earlier this season, it was a very low-scoring game. North Carolina only lost by single digits. They're the only team to out-rebound South Carolina this season.
But 1 of 2, LSU was able to do it in the SEC championship game.
That's right.
Well, just when we stepped aside for that commercial break, they put on the Jumbotron the end of the MTSU Louisville game. And you see Dawn Staley looking up there. Louisville had a chance. It almost went in, but Middle Tennessee State knocking out the Cardinals.
Anything can happen when it comes tournament time. Don't look at that number that's in front of the seed of who's higher or lower. You got to be good enough for 40 minutes, for 4 strong quarters.
So we don't get the, yeah, we were watching as well. This is the best time of the year.
It's kind of like when Cardoso hit that 3 in the SEC tournament. You never know who's watching. We all get shocked when it comes tournament time.
So we won't get the LSU Haley Van Lith versus her old team Louisville matchup.
Will not happen.
South Carolina's going to call timeout. 83-73. Gamecocks up with 5 to play on the airplane.
And she said he doesn't like to fly too much, but
she's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there's baby Tahina too, her little niece.
She had to get up early for a pregame meal.
Same.
Might be time for a nap.
Chloe Kitts, 8 for 8. Goodness gracious. South Carolina shooting almost 60% from the field. The air ball. She does have a career high 5 3-pointers today.
They just keep going. The talent that they have. You know, Kitts is just a sophomore. Don talked about, didn't think she would be as good as she was if she didn't have that experience from last year. Had a little taste of what college was going to be like and went to work in the offseason.
Shakima Walker underneath. Yeah, Chloe Kitts enrolled mid-year last year, and she's talked about it openly. There were times she questioned that decision. Was that the right move to burn a year of eligibility to come in early? But if she hadn't had that experience and known, hey, I got to up my game, I got to go to work in the offseason, she wouldn't have been a starter at the beginning of the year.
Well, it wasn't only the experience that she got in practice and playing against these players, but she got a trip to the Final Four. And so when you get a taste of that, of what it takes to get there, that helps you understand the level of commitment to work.
South Carolina's going to try to use up as much clock as possible. Looking for a spot in the second round against North Carolina. Another opponent they've already played this year. And that's a shot clock violation. Scoggins with the miss. Wiley. Hagan missed the putback. Presbyterian has not scored in the fourth quarter. Until right there, Marinera. Well, under 2 minutes to go, South Carolina in control. This Presbyterian team, what a run it has been. Their veteran player, Brianna Brady, in her 6th year, this would be her last game. She's playing for those injured players that Presbyterian doesn't have available. They lost 4 key players this year to injury. So Brianna Brady is going to get subbed out and get a big hug from her coach. Started her career at UC Riverside, but has thrived here at Presbyterian. Finding her voice, finding her game, and finding a Big South title.
Coach Lars Sharp told us about when she got the news that Brianna Brady was going to be granted that 6th season, how happy it made her. She knew how much Brianna meant to this team meant to her. And she has laid it on the line. And she did what she came to do, and that was to win a conference championship and got her team to the NCAA.
And also got them a win in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
With a victory on Wednesday.
And Brianna also got to meet Dawn Staley.
Dawn took time to meet Presbyterian and Sacred Heart. Went to their each team hotel to meet these women who've worked so hard to make it to the tournament.
That's what you do when you love the game, want to grow the game, and have an appreciation for what all these women put into it. Know that Dawn wants them all to have a great experience.
South Carolina 1 minute away from the second round. Chloe Kitts is now 9 for 9. That's a foul against Malaysia for Wiley. With the block and a shot clock violation.
Her stat line, Chloe Kitts, is ridiculous tonight. Got 13 rebounds. She's been all over the place defensively and perfect from the floor. Come on.
21 points. Ties her career high. Well, South Carolina has come out and looked like the #1 overall seed. And they did it without Camila Cardoso and Bree Hall, 2 starters, unavailable today. Will be available moving forward, though.
But life doesn't get any easier for South Carolina.
.6 on the clock. On to the second round. It will be South Carolina and North Carolina on Sunday in round 2 here in Columbia. What a season for Presbyterian. Congratulations to Alora Sharp and her whole Presbyterian team on their conference title and making their very first NCAA tournament.
They got a taste of what this is like. I think that'll give them the hunger to return to come back next season to build from this, because that is has a dynamic coach in Coach Sharp and a great program that the community has gotten behind.